And welcome back. Has gone through my Foundry missions here, and now up to the third one, which is now Floods at Home Part 2. It's continue on from, of course, Floods at Home Part 1. So I'll just tail it, and pretty much set up the scene of like the personal assistant to the Admiral's office. And so she's a bit busy at the moment, the Fleet Admiral. Can you go have some lunch have some lunch, and we'll call you when she's available, basically. So accept. Now, there's one thing I don't think I mentioned it in part 1. I'll just, sake of repeat myself, I'll say it anyway. But now, it was set up, it's supposed to be over here at Earth and the Sol system, and I did actually have it originally set up that it's on Earth space dock. It's the starting point, but they made some it's like added something, but it's now completely removed. I think it's been completely removed for a while now, where they had the thing with if it's like featured on a rotation basis of your missions when you go past systems, and you didn't have that feature on our space dock, and only features out in space like this. So I actually had to change it around a bit and made the starting point at of course Wharf 359 instead of back over here on our space dock, just to sort of get a bit more attention. So that's the reason why I started out here. So anyway, I'm just ready, come and get it. So of course I'll load in, or start it on the space dock. Alrighty, so here we are at our space dock, and you guys have been bad people, so you're not getting any lunch. I'm going to put you over here instead. Alrighty, so so the area is like a bit of a cafe area here that I used and talked to Terence. Pretty much, you can see what we got for lunch today. We got a special of Thai green curry. I'll have a plate. Right, here's your meal for you to enjoy. So you go over here and you go sit down. Of course, she stands you back up again, but I'll do the sit thing for this one. Excuse you for a sec. Sit in chair. Now you probably feel like familiarised with these two people. So like come up from Theodore, basically, from the first map from part 1, and you sit down and have a chat and see how everyone things going, and a bit of reputation, and everything well. And she gets a bit on the frustrated side that she couldn't go back to her normal life. She's still going through some rehabilitation and whatnot, but main reason why they're all up here actually is this is like a thing for the kids that had to be evacuated. They sort of like get a bit of a tour of Earth space dock, see what it looks like. So physiotherapy, complaining about it's better than sitting in a wheelchair bound, basically. You won't be able to make your scones no more. I would have found a way, basically. It's a bit stubbornness. Sorry, what was that? You start hot, start crying, water. You look terrible, water. I'll see the Fleet Admiral's eating a Thai green curry for the first time. Correct for a month? No, it's a 7 shake terrace with some water. Mouth's burning. You're better off than having some cow's milk. So you get some cow's milk and start drinking in the cow's milk to calm your mouth down, basically. So spicy dish, you got to take it easy on that. But you got a hidden over there. excuse me everyone, there's an emergency situation happening down north. It's sort of like what happened in southeast Queensland, if you remember the town of Grantham, where the big inland tsunami basically happened and ended up losing 14 lives. So I'm going in about that, so about the amount of water coming through and everything else like that, people stuck on the roofs and everything, hanging on to trees and all that, so pretty much into emergency response. All the tactical people there are also going to make a move to jump on shuttles and go down and beam people on board to save their lives, basically. Set up like a refugee style camp for the evacuation place with engineers. Medical's going to start up a triage, basically, so everyone's on board. And of course I got Ensign Helner. It's a bit of a character that got a bit of notoriety in the Foundry. You probably even had it as like a doff card. I'll just show you here if I can quickly find her. There she is. Oop. And you probably still make it look a bit on the familiar side. Is that astrometric scientist? So so she's a bit of a Foundry character that got created and got a bit of notoriety, and now got given as being a duty officer. So I cleared her in part 2. So give assistance, please. Yes, ma'am. Be careful. So pretty much the Admiral asks you if you can take a shuttle and go through some areas that hasn't been flooded yet, and ask everyone to evacuate and assist them in any way. So that's pretty much what the next map's going to be about. Alrighty, so pretty much rock up at a place. Because the away team's still flying around like a lost dog. Something I really wanted to have occurred in the Foundry is so I made it so to be able to control what sort of away team you can have with you, 1 or 2 characters or none at all. It wasn't to be. And so I come over here with Helena and check out the, pretendedly, in a way, flood waters, the water's rising. So you come up, quickly run over to the house. Now you still probably seen these characters before if you actually watched the part 1 video I did, and you probably see this lady here is sitting beside you when you did the flood appeal telephone. Tell you the situation. It's you got flood waters coming through your way. It's already people in trouble. And in simple words, you need to get out now. So, I was telling them to give them a hand. You start packing some things to take with them, some clothing and all that, some personal belongings if they can. But you got asked if you can come over here and just put a hole in the fence, basically, so that the farm animals, even though they're just targs, it's all available in the Foundry due to have its limitations, but certainly made a hole in the fence so that you can get the farm animals to go up the hill when the floodwaters rise. Find their own way up there, basically. So come over here and put a hole in the fence on this side. Alrighty, that's done. So you go quickly walk back over there. Now that did actually base this on a true story where person who performed at the event is a bit of a award-winning Australian country music singer, and his wife is a bit of a sort of radio personality with some of the one of the Brisbane radio stations. Where they live in sort of west of Brisbane, there along beside the Brisbane River, and they got a phone call saying from her wife, or not her wife, but her mother, saying, so a lot of things happened there and you really need to get out of there. So they actually had to leave and then gone to another place they owned. It was far away from water. And yeah, apparently it ended up going up to the second level of their place. They'd had a 2-story place. They did get over the second level, and when they were pretty high up from the water's edge too, from the river. So it's like a bit of a worry thing about it. That's alright, I'll pack you toothbrushes. I see it's something you might have left behind that's very precious, valuable. Don't worry about your own life, basically. Introduce myself, as well, if it's something I forget to do. So I made it so like only one map, and it's still like made it so like when you go back to the space dock, you been out for quite a few hours, a good 12 hours basically. I'm right here, okay. So back on that space dock, and it's quite some time later. So you got you over there, fellas. So here and talk to Admiral Ming, and so we're back. How are things holding up? Exhausted, man, but it's been a long afternoon. And about you, Antonella? Could really do with a warm shower and a hot meal, ma'am. But I don't feel alright. Well, it seems as if we're going to Ensign. I expect a report on the Ensign. For your Ensign, but you can wait till the morning. Get yourself cleaned up and get some rest. Dismissed, Ensign Eleanor. Thank you, ma'am. Good night, Mate. Fleet Admiral. Nice to meet you at work with you beside you. Good night, Ensign. Tell you that she expects a report for you in the morning as well, and but you gave us a bit of a brief one. When stopped by 14 farms, in a dangerous position. So wanted to get out and all that, evacuate. But so I've already heard the warning and already managed to get out, which is good. So just yes, ma'am. It's good to hear. Fortunately, it wasn't for others. I asked what happened. He got interrupted by one of the tactical officers who went in to evacuate people in their shuttles and stuff like that. And this is actually something that actually did happen with a pregnant woman whose foot was snugged in something beneath the water, rushing. From pretty much she was underwater herself, and he's struggling to and she was struggling a bit, and she was actually pregnant and actually was hanging on to something like a 4-year-old as well, and she ended up having to let go of the 40-year-old, and she got swept away and passed away from drowning, and just to save her life. And you pretty much the fetus inside her basically, and so like it's quite emotional there. It's like very mental. Pretty much all the people are so very emotionally upset with what happened and everything else like that, and missing loved ones and all. So I did try and bring that forward in some ways. Just want to rescue one more person, try and save someone's life out there. But the weather conditions was pretty bad. It's out there. We couldn't do anything more in the runabout. It was, just conditions went right. So they had to come back. I got counsellors on the, pretty much set up that counsellors are on the way to talk to them, to help them out. We pretty much need to get back onto your feet and get back on the front lines to help them out. This big thing with military these days is try and get back on the front lines as quick as we possibly can. or humanly can. So yeah, but you save a whole heap of lives. Yeah, and I recommend accommodation for them, and also give them a salute for what they did. Yeah, nice test. You better get yourself cleaned up and get some sleep. Expect a report in the morning. First thing. I'll leave it at that. So good night. Alrighty, so here we are. We've got good morning, Emerald. Sorry, ma'am. I guess I'll come back with you later if you like. It's alright. You're probably a good idea if you're here to listen to this. So hang on. Keep forgetting about these guys. Over there, fellas. So he took to Admiral Ming, and because the situation probably going in some ways where he just got is just as bad. So you got Dr. Muller from the Bureau of meteorologist. There's this fella, and local governing body from Brisbane, governing representative, and they pretty much talk about this current situation they now got in front of them. So it pretty much is sort of like all that water that sort of like went through the western side of southeast Queensland, through the Lockyer Valley and Brisbane Valley, is all like it's all going to go one way, and that's down the Brisbane River, which is going to cause a major flood for Brisbane. So and pretty much Ipswich as well. So I'm sort of like creating the scene as to like this is what's going to happen. This scenario. This is what the simulations come up with, and so like where the area is going to get inundated. Dams of capacity and need to release water to hold intact. Some places haven't got very much time where they need to get out and stuff like that, and how many homes they expect to be be lost in the floods and all that. So there'll be no levels. 4 days basically. And you need to. We need to do something about this, for Starfleet. So it's like in a situation with the scenario, because we're in this sort of like a bit of that Cold War thing again with the Klingons during this era of Star Trek Online. When I made this, so we'll be careful where we're going to get our personnel from. We can't really exactly recall people from no man's land, basically. You gotta be cautious. But anyone who's on shore leave are going to be immediately call them back. Pretty much do an order of anyone on shore leave to call back, and assist, and need a place of operations down on the earth below. And so I got mentioned here of the Aviation Museum west of Ipswich, which used to be the at the moment it's the Royal Australian Air Force Base at Amberley. So New Standard Point, and pretty much I'll mention, how about we get the cadets to come out and give us a hand, turn some brownie points basically for them. So that's a good idea. Still a shortage and all that, but also you can take command of the operations base down in Amberley Air Base. So alright, where I go. Alrighty, here goes. Go over there. Harm's way. Alrighty, so come here because it's raining. Chat to the museum manager. I'm assuming it's closed. Forgive me, I didn't realise you were from Starfleet. What can I do for you, Fleet Admiral? Looking at this location for command posts. It's understandable with a given flooding reason that we're closed. The power is also offline. So give it some conditions. And what are they? One is to return it to the same condition it was when you found it, and two, sign the guest book. Okay. So he's gone. So quickly go and check out this place. So needs a little bit of setup here. So wide open space. Flight tower. Go runway. Excuse me. Building on the side. So like hangar base basically. So alright, took the space dock and alright, got the first bit of equipment needs a bit ready to beam down. The chance, it's me received by the crews to assemble a command post 2 hours before they arrive by shuttles. Thank you guys. So got all the reinforcements coming in to run the place. So it'll be pretty much the same as I did on the Rockhampton Airport map, as I go around and put everything in place and build everything. So you get everything set up. Alrighty, so you go, oh yeah, well, there's no power, we're going to need to get some generators down here too, so you call up for some generators. You can post the generators out here. Place marker. Boom, one generator. Go around the other side here and place marker for the second generator. Forgot to turn the generator on around the other side. So turn the generators on. Alrighty, so second shipment of equipment of containers arrived, various tents ready to go to beam down. So you set up the accommodation side of things. Some of the rest. Now, somewhere around here is where the marker is. That's like one thing of these things is like, even though you don't see them on the play map, there's always seem to show up on the map, so I know pretty much where to stand. So I don't get caught in containers when I beam down. Get squished basically. Place marker. Alright, so you go around and they're already set up, you go set up the tents. Alrighty, so tents are in place. Now you go put some, whoop, there it is. Put some generators down. It's a bit further up. Okay. And turn it on. Turn the third one on, or turn this one on I should say, not the third one. Alright, so I'm going to final containers come down with the mess equipment. So it's set up somewhere where you can eat, basically. So come over here. And go around and set up all this. So set up the pillar. And of course, once you set it up, that once you get everything there, the containers disappear. So, so like I said, a force field up to make it like a bit of a sheltered area. And of course, even though you got a roof there, you still got rain coming through. You probably would have noticed it if you're over there on where the hangar is. And it's rather annoying. And nothing you can do about it. But let's get yourself a drink. Keep hydrated, even though it's raining. Drink up. Cheers. meet the shuttle to it just landed. So alright, so turn command of air traffic command. So you're still doing traffic controlling. Go to the engineers, handle supply and everything else like that, quartermasters basically. Long press for Admiral, since it's a Vulcan, you give him the Vulcan salute. And so like, yeah, so for medical. And over here is the cadets, all seen over by Ensign. Yeah, he's pretty much made as a company clerk for this outpost. So there, and yeah, good speech of the cadets, all that, and also it's got some civilian representatives come in to help out with everything, to liaise with. So, you know, I set up that all those guys are pretty much gone except for the cadets, but you see them over here, or, you know, chatting about how they're gonna handle everything. And there you go, you got another familiar face. The leader, State Emergency Services volunteer, and also, you know, chat, introduce yourself and all that. And also I got a civilian police officer to help out with everything there as well. So, you know, sit down and say, oh, let's go sit down, have dinner together basically, and then you pretty much like call all night, so pick up the following morning basically. Alrighty, so go for Gold Sun. Alrighty, so pretty much up, and it's sort of like the following morning. So I made it sort of like this sort of like scene where it's sort of like make a day at the operations center. So you go get yourself some breakfast. Cheers. And here you go to chat by the company clerk and one of the cadets. Yeah, good morning. Full schedule today with Fleet Admiral. Yeah, going to talk to the Mayor of Ipswich and Lord Mayor of Brisbane, or some other governing bodies, and held. Yeah, be there in 40 minutes. And make sure everything needs to be tidy and make everyone look busy. Will you please? Yes, Fleet Admiral. There's something else too, if I may, ma'am. The Fleet Admiral, he's got his stutter, got a little bit nervous from having speaking to a Fleet Admiral basically, so you got a little bit, his nerves gone a bit there. He's got a bit of that stutter happening, so yeah, confidence and stuff like that. So you know, doing great. So go answer the call from Admiral Ming. So every time I talk to Admiral, and I feel embarrassed. You know, take a 10-minute break. You know, give him a bit of a breather. Yeah. Ma'am, excuse me for yeah, excuse me. Can you close on his sleep? Keep an eye on him basically. And then okay, so you go off. So like return the call from Admiral Ming. So there you are. So you know, have a chat and you have a bit of an idea what's going on down here. And yeah, it's a bit of a thing about the cadet. It's a bit of stutter, nerves. Yeah, for the same reason I see you, much from ambassadors to Earth within the Federation. They felt Earth was, come to their aid over the centuries, but never had to come to ours. So they, informed me that in pledging to give assistance if required, they were even offered assistance from the Remans. Intelligence is looking into that. Now, I did actually mention the Remans, so it's sort of like the way the storyline goes with Star Trek Online. The Remans seem to sort of like doing a bit of a thing for independence now, and not to be suppressive by the Tal Shiar. So as have a leader there by the name of Obasek. He's one of the featured episodes. So so that's all some good news. But pretty much what I did with that particular story was there was a thing there from a news report talking to the foreign minister at the time, and he was saying, it's been quite a lot of times the Australian goes and give assistance to things or help fight wars or peacekeeping and whatnot, or humanitarian side of things. We seem to be there offering to help, and and so like there's been plenty of countries that are willing to offer to return the favour, basically, from African countries as well. So I did sort of like mention that in this, but carry on, continue on, and chat and stuff. The Federation President is going to be visiting evacuation centres. And he provides the security. Nene will take care of that. That's all, pretty much all taken care of. So I finished chatting with him. All the diplomats and everything else like that, and all theirs for the meeting. Of course, we've got to sit down, take a seat, and meet everyone. So the Lord Mayor of Brisbane, hello. The Mayor of Ipswich, hello. Governing body representative, yes, we met. And the meteorologist. And meteorologist, so like being so busy overnight trying to get simulations done and everything else like that. He's really tired and wanted something to eat, so you get the lady or your ensign here to go get some food from the replicator for him when he goes and does his report and a cup of tea. So give a bit of a report in simulations and what he's expecting, up to date and everything else like that. Forecasting models and all that. And he goes food and chow down. And you see the Ipswich Mayor, have a chat, and feeling a bit sad and sorrow with how much notice they didn't get. With Ipswich, they didn't get very much in the way of notice. It's sort of like some people only had a couple of hours basically to try and evacuate and move out anything they possibly can from their homes before they get trapped, basically. So in Brisbane, you had a bit more notice and probably had a little bit more of a day and a half to evacuate, basically. But there were some areas in Brisbane that was completely cut off. Any way they can get to them was via air, and need supplies and everything else like that to go to them. So they pretty much give some ration packs to food wise and all that, but they pretty much needs diapers for babies and baby formula and all that sort of thing I mentioned. So no problems in that. I mean, you'll get some runabouts to ship it all over there for them. I like it to work together, but gives the subject of course, we're doing very much in the way of rescue and everything else like that, but we start getting to that sort of point there with starting to move into a bit of a recovery mode. So we sort of like start to get that side of things organised while we wait for the orders to subside. So so we state emergency services can help out there with volunteers and do assessments with people's properties and all that. So including be family and friends that might want to come and help as well. So so definitely hurry along a bit there. So do everything. We'll get everything organised for when it comes to recovery. So the meeting's finished. Everyone's heading off to the shuttles and whatnot to transport back to where they were. And at the time of the day where you go off and have yourself some lunch. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. We're having some lunch. Take lunch. And have lunch. Alright, so you go over here. And of course they've got some supplies come in, the baby formula and diapers and everything else like that, anything medical I might need in some isolated areas. The representative, government representative managed to deliver a surprise. We're just waiting on some runabouts. What's the hold up with the runabouts? Runabouts have been held up by a company called Cryptic. Now, Cryptic Studios is the one who developed the game Star Trek Online. And it was a bit of a problem at times with the Foundry. It's sort of like they don't seem to have any way of allocation for someone to actually add items to the Foundries for us to use. One of the things was the roundabout. So you can get the shuttle, but couldn't get a roundabout. So I made it sort of like a thing of, what's the hold up? Cryptic hasn't given us the roundabout yet, so I made a bit of cheek about it, sort of like hint, how would you give us some runabouts now, eh? Stop my stuff, totaling basically, and make it sort of like coming soon, basically, and it's made about a fleet admiral and complained about it, and I got shut down about it, I made it sort of like a fleet admiral that complained about it, lost his command and got assigned to that ice planet that Nero left Spock in the 2009 Star Trek. So that's what happened. So they sort of made it, well, we're going to have to use the roundabouts. It might take longer to get there, but we'll try to do our best to get the supplies to where it's needed. It would have been a lot easier to have a roundabouts. So continue on and go see the ensign and cadet and all that, and see what's going on there. But before I continue on, we did eventually, about a couple of years later after I published this, that we eventually did get some runabouts. It did take some time, and it was pretty much someone doing it on a voluntary basis of giving these things in the Foundry. So I lost his stutter and got his confidence back with Cadet, and the Fleet Admiral offered him a role once he's graduated from the academy, pretty much, like a kid at a candy store, as he goes and tells his mum about good news. And SES volunteer got some good news and saying we've got plenty of volunteers to help out. The bad news, I'm coming up one short. So pretty much what it is like, I'm getting you to, pretty much rubbing you in to go and do some door-to-door knocking, see what he needs help and whatnot. So you stand out of this one. So like, I'm in charge now. I told you with the SNV. I'll do it. They give you, can't you? You man, if there's anything else, I don't like your attitude. Drop and give me 20s. So, it's sort of like you go to drop and do some 20s, do some push-ups. Oh God, that was disgraceful. Bit of sense of humour, bit of cheekiness about it and all that. Whatever you tell me, man. I just thought I did that Forrest Gump thing of, what if Elliot, you're a genius. You go far in the sleep. Anything else, man? No, that was all dismissed. And burst out laughing. Yeah, we just quite enjoyed that. So now it's dinner time. And probably shouldn't have they may have dinner, because I made it sort of like that. You have dinner over here with a police officer. Hello, Freddie Merrill. Can I join you? Oh, sure. Yeah, take a seat. And sit down, pretty much chat with the police officer, and it's a bit on the downside, because apparently his home is going to get underwater, and he's not home to like move his furniture out and everything else like that, and he's got some like antique, family heirlooms furniture there, and maybe we could give you a helping hand. We'll get some of the cadets to go over and give you a hand to move out. So you go and organise with the ensign, get some cadets to go give him a hand. So that need some authorisation from Myspace for transport over, and you give it, and so you probably need to go have a good night while they go off and do that. So he goes for good night. And now this next map is something I pretty much take on a little bit on the personal side, once it's loaded up, of course. Alrighty, you lot over there. Alrighty, so this is like the suburb of North Ipswich, and this is where I designed something where this is what happened in some ways with me where I live at the time of the floods, because I did get done in the floods, and it was a very could say very stressful time, and I did have to evacuate and all that, and help my neighbours out when it got done. It's very long days and everything else like that. So I come up to the first couple here. What's happening? See if we organise with the recovery and everything else like that. If you need assistance, and so I'm all good. I'm all okay, but it's I've got neighbours behind me that didn't fare so well. So, all right, thank you, Juru. I often see the neighbours at the back. There you go, and introduce yourself. Oh, great, need some help here. I could need some help to pull the kitchen out. Kitchen got wrecked. So they introduce themselves. Give me a second to put the information in. So enter your information. So when you expect visitors, we'll have someone here tomorrow morning. Thanks, Queensland Rail. Alright, so we'll move to the people over the road. Now this is probably something in the way of it, something that will pretty much happen here. It's hey, mate, you're a little dressed up for giving us a hand. A bit more of that sense of humour I have. This way, it's introduce yourself. I'm here to give you assistance. Okay then. I've heard the neighbours may need a helping hand. It's one big thing with this, what happened here in Australia. Very strong thing with Australia was neighbour helping a neighbour out, and we did have quite a lot of just normal people volunteering to help out. It was very much needed. So you show a bit of the Aussie spirit coming out, and it was very long, and long days and hard work, lifting up carpet that was, mud-filled wet carpet, lifting it up and taking it outside basically, and pretty heavy to lift and everything else like that. So it was in some ways a bit on the back-breaking side of things. So after a couple of days you really do feel it, and it's glad to get some extra hands in. So I emphasise that a bit. So you enter the information. Like something to drink. Look a little bit thirsty. It was it's one thing there was sort of like all the water around, and it stopped raining pretty much. Not long, pretty much. Stopped raining for a couple of days actually. So had peak water and blue skies basically. Flood waters and blue skies. So with the sun beaming down and reflecting off the ground, it did get pretty warm, pretty hot. So hydration was a good thing to have, and have a brownie too. I've mentioned sort of the brownie, the sort of things there with Baker's Relief. It was something that a lady actually started up with, so they get volunteers to actually do some baking and give some food to, or give it to the emergency services. So the police, fire brigade, ambulance. Show the appreciation for what they do, because they did work long hours themselves. It even did a thing where they actually organised, through social media, actually organised something similar for Christchurch when they actually had the earthquake, a couple of months after the floods. So it did have a bit of an international effect, I could say. Have a piece, so have a drink. Now, this is a part where this person actually looks a bit on the familiar side, so I'll just quickly close down for a sec, move beside him. So, and you probably see that sort of like, I do look a little bit on the familiar side. So it's sort of like being me down in the street. So pretty much asked if the mail service is back up and running, and sorry I don't have that information. There's sort of like a bit of a story behind it, because back then in 2011, when Cryptic Studios used to be owned by Atari, not by Perfect World Entertainment, and they you used to have to get it, when you get the game you have to get it on a disc and pay for it, of course. So I ordered it online and expected to have it delivery when the waters peaked basically. So I was sort of wondering when I'm going to get the package, but I got it a week later. Got the DVD on disc, the game on disc, DVD, and I received it a week later. So go back to normal. But what I did was made it that I was waiting for a letter from the Starfleet Academy for me to join. So I set it up that way. So waiting for the gamers, so like me waiting for this thing for me to go to Starfleet Academy, or accepted the Starfleet Academy. So I made a thing about it. I might be talking to my CEO here. So you pretty much ask everyone else. Everyone else is doing okay. They're all safe and everything else like that. And even though I wasn't affected too much, it ended up just coming level with me. With the fall basically, the flood waters when it peaked. I did have to move my furniture out and put it on my next door neighbour's veranda basically, so you keep it all safe, because all my furniture wasn't insured. So neighbours living 2 doors up and everything else like that. And so I must admit it was a very exhausting week, and not having very much to eat and physical hard work and everything else like that. I ended up losing about 3 kilograms that week, and I was pretty much sore for like muscle soreness for about 2 weeks afterwards. So, but yeah, so I move on down the street and someone who didn't fare too well, so I made it that some of the furniture that got wrong got put on the roadside for the roadside pickup with the garbage. So and Chesney, saying, "Oh wow," you just realise, I did have this from a neighbour. That's like, "Oh, it's so much of a blessing to have all these people come in and give me a hand, all these complete strangers and whatnot." So, just enter their information, and it's really made my day. Now some of the neighbours came and gave me a hand, and so no, I'm in my first flood, and nice to be flooded. It makes sense. These are proud to be Australian, basically. Show the Aussie proudness and stuff like that. And so you try to and realise that oh, you're the fleet admiral I was on television. So he knows you from the flood appeals. So, oh man, can I get a selfie with you? So you get a selfie and everything else like that. But once you had your com badge on, when you interrupt you, oh no, you can't get a selfie with you. So the space talk heard what you cared on about. So yeah, thanks a lot. Alright, so here we are. Put these guys over here and go in, and all the information you have, you get it uploaded from your tricorder, and you go over here and see the Karen, the SES volunteer. Oh, you ready? Yes, I have. Oh, here he is. Yeah, alright, I've got the information there. So tell them that the neighbours have been helping out quite a lot, but they're probably could use the extra helping hand. You just give everyone a bit of a break. So and so no, you got to have the fleet admiral come in and visit. Sit down and have a chat and everything else like that. So there's talking reports of the police and all that. It's safe now. Tell them what areas are still in effect and areas are shut. And fortunately, that town of Grantham, it was pretty much made into a crime scene because of the amount of bodies still lost in there. 14 people lost their lives in that particular town. So the town was sort of like very much closed off for a week or two, treated as a crime scene where they try and find, locate the bodies and whatnot from the town. So, there you are. Have a chat and tell them probably what happened with the cadets, and after they helped the police officer out, they went and helped other people in the street out and all that. Got a little bit on the enthusiastic side. Of course, you have to sit down and have a chat. And it's pretty much just told about the April 25th, 1915, which is still like April 25th is Anzac Day here for Australia and New Zealand, and it's all like the thing about Australians landing in the Gallipoli shores, and it's like mate helping a mate out, the diggers, and it's been like that ever since, basically, of mate helping a mate out. So it's very much telling the story of that, and the family responded, mate helping a mate out. Now, I did actually mention here about a reporter from the New York Times. It was saying that he was amazed at the resilience of the Australians. Now, I sort of deliberately put that in there with that story. It was pretty much when like from the last map, when I had that scene of everyone gathered together, they'd sit down and have an eat, and got my little character there. So what happened there was we're having some morning tea there, and we actually had a reporter from the New York Times come and visit us and give us a report, and he was actually saying some things about mate helping a mate and stuff like that, and he goes, yeah, he was quite surprised for that, and he was actually saying that his editor, who's New York based, was like very, just absolutely dumbfounded about, neighbours helping neighbours out during this time, and it was like very unheard of, and in some ways it's sort of like it made, especially after what happened with New Orleans with, I think it was Katrina. It was a bit of an embarrassment with what happened there with them, and what happened in the town, and so still like it really showed them what's really, what we can do if we all pitch in and help each other out and stuff like that. And you probably could say it made a bit of a change in attitude there, because remember that fertilizer explosion outside of Waco in Texas. It's having people there is like helping out there, and get a bit too much help basically. So it did a bit of a change of attitude with so like showing an example basically. So so interruption there. It's like had state emergency services from New Zealand coming over to assist, and so asked if they can stay here and pretty much camp here basically, or stay here for when they sleep and all that. So no problem. So you go and organise everything from that. So you go over here and have a chat to chat and say, alright, organise that flight control, know that we're going to have a shuttle from New Zealand coming over to drop off some volunteers, and pretty much have a chat and say that they make sure we've got something there for accommodation, so we set up some extra tents. So so you let them know they're on their way, and that's something to remember that you need to do. And that is, once we get over here, it's on the guest book. Alrighty, so we'll go to the end of the runway here. You can see everyone beaming in, and what we've got here is a whole heap of volunteers coming over from New Zealand to help out. So hold up a sec. We're about to perform the Maori Haka, so throw that in. Yeah. So hey guys, welcome to the mainland. There's a bit of a running joke between Australia and New Zealand. It's like New Zealand made up of a group of islands, and Australia, one big giant island, so we call it welcome to the mainland. So yeah, so you do the introductory side of things. You show them to their quarters basically, and the fleet admiral is there as well, and she says, "Oh, you have crews back on your ship," and probably in contact with them, and probably use them to give them a hand with everything down here. So stay, pretty much asking you stay on to help with recovery effort. Aussie spirit was rubbed off on you as well. So permission granted, thank you. You can see I put another thing there where I put some extra tents in for the New Zealanders to stay in. So go running over here and get in contact with your ship. You make contact with your ship, so you got your helmsman on your ship talking to you. That's why I set it up anyway. And I said, "Oh, we're not going off just yet. Everyone get down here. We're going to give them a hand, basically." It's ultimately, my place underwater. But a lot of colleagues who have offered, There's one thing there with where I was living in North Ipswich. It's like with the apartments there. He was actually a police officer, and after pretty much working like pretty much for 4 days straight, 16 hours a day basically, she had the weekend off, but she went off and helped a fellow colleague whose house went underwater to give him a hand to clean up. So I did a bit of a mention there with that as well. Having fellow colleagues who are going to come in on their day off to give them a hand to clean up the house, which probably happened quite a lot. And say, alright, can you beam me over to Tony and Katie's place, which you probably see in a sec who they are. So you see we feel like a familiar face, so you guys know, Tony, you see if you need a helping hand, mate. So got a makeshift crew coming down to get help. Well, hope you're good at fixing fences. So like, it's me. Thanks. You mentioned some other missions you made. So, but that's pretty much it for the Floods at Home Part 2. So I made a bit of a cheeky thing of well, you broke the fences, you can go and fix them. So so that's pretty much it with Floods at Home Part 2. So hopefully I didn't make myself a little bit too long-winded and everything else like that, explaining everything. But consider subscribing down below, and until next time, have a good one.